Jenny Funkmeyer here, Parallel University. Today, woo, I have an incredible topic. I just saw several times in a row, actually, this documentary called The Mountain Yogi by filmmaker Job Verhoeven. I think it premiered in the Berlin Film Festival in 2016, but it introduced to me an enlightened being, a guru, a master, a new one for me. So I'm so excited. His name is Guruji Govinda, and he was born in Pooh, Pooh, North India, Northern India. Once I was in The King and I, and there was a song that says, "Praise to Buddha, praise to Buddha." This is a song in the musical The King and I'm singing it because praise to Buddha. He is walking alive today while I am alive. Buddha is alive again in my life right now. I can go to North India and I can meet Buddha himself in the person of Guru Govinda. Now, isn't that just like, oh my God, that is so exciting. That is a very exciting thing. That means you too can right now go to India to meet Buddha himself and become enlightened and learn from him. Or you could see the documentary many times like me and get so jazzed that maybe, yeah, this is it. I too can become Buddha. I too can become enlightened in one lifetime, because this guy Govinda said and demonstrated that it is possible to become enlightened in one lifetime. He said there's two ways. One way is called do, and the other way is called nagak. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. In the do way, it's a kalpa, and it takes countless lifetime to become enlightened. And this is what most Tibetans do. For example, the Dalai Lama is the same person coming back. I think he's the 13th or the 14th Dalai Lama. The same guy come back over and over and over again, and he's enlightened each time, and then he comes back. So the do way that they do in Tibet takes many lifetimes. And his way is called nagak, just takes one life, this present life. You can become enlightened. Well, what is enlightenment? Okay, let's just get this straight so that we understand what enlightenment is before I go into all this. This is so exciting. Here I have written down what the Guru says. Guru Govinda of Pooh says, when I die this time, no problem for me. This is success for me. I have no connection with body. We throw this body. This, we all know, is the truth. I have fixed my stamp here. Not that I said it, but I wrote it in Chinese calligraphy with Chinese pen. So to me, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Like, no fear of death. No fear of death at all. But of course he has no fear of death, because he has proved to himself that he doesn't die. And now I would go through his life with you, for you. All the information is gleaned from the documentary, Job Verhoeven's documentary, The Mountain Yogi. I've not met the man. I just watched the movie and loved it. So let me tell you his life. First of all, He was born in a place called Poo, northern India. He's Indian then. 1 year after he was born, 3 wise men shows up. 3 Tibetan monk shows up and was come to his mother and said, well, according to our information, there is an enlightened reincarnation in this village. Do you know of any child being born? His mother looked the 3 wise men, the 3 monk, in the eye and said, nope, many children are born, but there are no child reincarnation of a master here. And so they left, right? And the mother said, well, you need your tuku, meaning you need your enlightened being, but we don't give a shit. We want a son. They just come, these monk comes and take all their sons, and this is her only son at that moment, the first son, and she just doesn't want to give him up. So she just tells the wise man to go away. And then the mother, who's a beautiful, beautiful Indian woman, old lady now, says, well, when he was born, a wise man in the village consult the Buddhist astrology text and said, Milarepa is going to be reincarnated in this household. A very special teacher will be reincarnated in this household. Also, a lady and another elder from the village also had a dream. They both dreamed that the village was become a lake, and then I think there's like a hole and the water drains away. Anyway, it was an auspicious dream. So there was some auspicious sign when Guru Govinda was born. 3 wise men. Do you remember the 3 wise men when Jesus was born? Yeah, so 3 monks, 3 wise men also came to look for him. So anyway, the mother wouldn't give him up, so he just grew up a regular child. And the brother said, there's a brother afterwards, a younger brother, said he was always interested in Dharma, interested in spirituality, and he was always a very special child, but not that special. He read his father's book. Actually, this documentary is amazing because you hear from the guru himself, and the guy speaks English. He speaks like this really, really kind of simplistic, childlike English. And the reason I'm so excited is I can just see it in his face that he's telling the truth. He's a very, very simple, very humble man, and he's telling the truth. I mean, the documentary is so good. It's just really truthful. It's not really like the power of a documentary, really. I feel like my eyes was extended, and I could just see him, and I believe. Maybe I'm a sucker, but I believe wholeheartedly. Why not? Buddha is born. Isn't that great? Okay, I digress. So he's a child, and he reads his father's books, and among the books, he read that for Dharma, for the spiritual path, it is necessary to leave home. So he has always wanted to leave home. But then for the love of his mother and father, he doesn't. When he was 24 years old, there was an arranged marriage, and he got a wife. An arranged marriage was a custom in that area. So everyone just, get married. I mean, it's still a custom in India today. Even Indians that are here in America, they still get arranged marriage. Isn't that amazing? So the parents picked the wife, picked the bride, and gave it to him. And then 6 months later, the wife is pregnant. So he says, he was 24 years old, and he said, if I see my child with my own eyes, I cannot leave. If I see my child with my own eyes, I cannot leave. This he said this himself. You can see it in the documentary, and he's so genuine. And I can understand, because I can understand because I can understand because there's some yelling over there, neighbors or something. I can understand because really because I have a baby, and my baby just came home from out of town. She just arrived, and that's the noise you can hear. So I can understand if you lay eyes on your child, if you have a child, and if you lay eyes on your baby, what happens is that's it. That like this lifetime, you're kind of committed to this baby. I have a baby. I understand, and I understand why he left before his baby was born. And incidentally, Buddha also did that. He also left when his baby was, I think his baby was just born. His baby's name is Rahula. The wife's is Yashodhara. Yashodhara was Buddha's wife, and she gave birth to a son named Rahula. And Buddha also left when the baby was very small, or before the baby was born, because and Buddha was only 19 years old. Buddha was a prince, right? Because if you see the baby, it's just too hard to leave. You can't leave to become a monk anymore. The monk, somehow the spiritual path and the family path sometimes don't cross, except that's not true in the Hindu tradition, because Yogananda's teacher, Yogananda's guru, Suyukteswar, was a householder. He was a householder guru. So he was also a husband, a father, and a guru at the same time. But I guess if you want full enlightenment, the family path, the family is going to be one of the obstacles. One of the obstacles. But of course, the guru says, obstacles are always there when you practice, when you practice. Always obstacles, so that we have to face. Obstacles are helping us. They are our teacher. Well, that's what Govinda said. But anyway, he left home when his baby was not yet born. His wife was only 6 months pregnant. He gave up everything, and then he went just a little bit way, not that far, up the hill from his village, and went to a place called Melling. And he was there for 3 years, sitting in a cave, meditating, 6 months without water. He also sat for 4 years. Later, he also sat 4 years in Somak. There, he went no food and no water for 3 to 4 months. In the winters, those areas, and he never left. He just sat there for 3 years, and then he moved to another cave and sat there for 4 years. 7 years altogether. In the winters, they were covered with 9 feet of snow, and there's very little oxygen because it's all covered in snow. So that's the first thing about this enlightened being. I talked about the city, the outward physical sign that is a natural byproduct of enlightenment in another video called the process of ascension explained. You can see that there are other cities, there are other spiritual benefits that if you are enlightened, you will get that. One of that is you don't die. Like he said, when I die this time, no problem for me. Easier said than done because he already died. Can you believe if you sit there for 6 months without water, basically you have died. And if the next thing you know, you stand up and you walk out of the cave, well, I think even I myself would be pretty convinced that this is an enlightened master, because this is like Christ's resurrection, right? Happening right in front of you. This person is dead, and then this person don't drink water. You think this person is dead, but no, this person is alive. And there must be something with this person. Combined with listening to him, watching him talk, looking at this documentary, I'm pretty convinced. I'm pretty excited. I want to go see him. There are also many other people, enlightened people, alive today, and I'm going to talk about them in other more videos. So what he did after this, he's about 55 years old now, and the documentary was just made, so I'm not quite sure about the time frame. But what happens is he has an amazing, the film, a lot of the documentary was explained by his attendant named Ram. And I mean, this guy also seemed like he's quite an enlightened person, just a young man, but just look at his face, and it's just so gentle and so beautiful. These are Buddhists, so they are non-violent people, and it just shows the peace and the beauty in their face, just shows. So the teacher, for some reason, he doesn't even know why. He does explain it. He does explain why he comes out, and I'm going to read this to you in a moment. But let me tell you what he did first. What he did was he went on a yatra journey. It's called a public way. Yatra journey means the public way. The attendant Ram explained that most enlightened beings, when they come down the cave, they come down on a pilgrim to holy places, to go and to another holy places. But some enlightened being, for example, the example that I come to mind because I love Ram Dass was Ram Dass' teacher, Neem Karoli Baba, also did yantra journey. He did the public way. He was sitting there so everyone can see him. This is a holy man showing himself. This is a man who didn't drink water for six months, for 7 years. He sits in a cave, he meditates, and now he comes down to show himself. So, this is like a holy sight. This is, when you see him, is a holy sight. And you can see that in the documentary. It's just so amazing. Like lines of people, just all people coming just for him to touch their head, and they go down and touch the holy man's feet, because that's the tradition. When you see a teacher, you put your forehead on his feet to show respect, and then he gives them rice, he gives them candy, he blows on the water, and he touches the water that they bring for him to bless, and he touches their shoulders, he pets them like that, he touches their forehead. That's what he does. What he's doing is going on the public way, showing people the sight of a holy man. And from the attendant said that this is the first time he sees a holy man doing that. It's a very rare occasion, and he is sharing his ascension, sharing his process with the world. He talks about everything in his documentary, um, and he does this documentary. I mean, he actually like is there explaining things and really sharing his ascension journey, sharing his holy sight, his holy words, his holy teaching, just like that, right there, showing it. And this year, you know, like the movie is just brand new. It's right now. We're talking about today. We're talking about today. You can meet this guy. You meet it. You meet Buddha himself today. Um. So he, well, it's incredible that he was just like walking on the highway. This is a very mountainous area. He was in a place called Misang. Misang is Milarepa's cave. This is where his Milarepa in the 11th century, 1050 to 1153, sat in a cave and become enlightened. So this is that's why they said Govinda is Milarepa's incarnation. So let me explain Milarepa. Milarepa, the first guy who brings Buddhism from Buddha while Buddha was still alive was a guy named Tilopa, and he brought Buddhism from India to Tibet. And this guy Tilopa become enlightened through meditation, and also he met a Dakini, a woman practitioner, and the Dakini taught him a lot. So he's the beginning of Tantric Yoga, which is Kundalini rising, which is sexual energy, Kundalini, and through orgasm, I think. I'm not explaining this correctly. Forgive me. Forgive me. The scholars in the audience, please forgive me, because I don't know that much. But I know that Tilopa met a Dakini, and through Kundalini rising, that just means orgasms to me. He discovered Tantric Yoga, and he also and became enlightened. I'm not saying just through having sex. I'm saying that was one of the things he did with a woman practitioner, a Dakini, a goddess. A Dakini is a Tibetan goddess. So then another guy come to him after he became enlightened and asked him to teach him the method, and that guy's name is Naropa. Naropa, you know, there's a Naropa University now. He's the second guy in the lineage, and and Tilopa was like a very mean teacher. The way he taught Naropa was he need to let go of his body. He needs to just forget his body and understand that his body is not him. And the way he taught that was made him, one of the things he did was Tilopa drove nails into Naropa's hands and made him sit there for 3 days meditating until he comes back. And of course, if you can actually sit 3 days with your 10 fingers with nails driven into under your nails driven into your fingers, you're kind of divorced from your body. Yes. And when he fully divorced from his body was when he became fully enlightened. I mean, these Tibetans are pretty crazy. Then Naropa teach his enlightenment, which is you're not your body, you're not your mind, and many other things, of course, enlightenment, to Milarepa. And Milarepa, Naropa was a very kind teacher. He taught nonviolence. It really kind of started with him because there was so much violence done to his body for him to, yeah, he achieved enlightenment, but then he added the fact that non-violence, you must teach in a very gentle and compassionate way. So Milarepa's teaching received a lot of compassion from his teacher, and he himself is very compassionate, and the lineage goes on, and then it's split, and then it's not in the scope of this video. I love Tibetan traditions, and I have past life there myself, and so I will make a different video about Tibet. Oh my God, so Tibet is so incredible. So in northern India, where Govinda is currently is, I mean, those people look a lot like Tibetans. They're different cultures, of course, they're Indians, but the kind of the people, the skin tone and the way they are, they look a lot like Tibetans. They're kind of the same people with different culture. Through the years, you know, got a different, they speak different language. I mean, they seem like the same people, but through different culture, they became different. So anyway, yeah. So he went to Nasang. He walked from Poo to Nasang. Poo is actually in between these two places. The documentary showed him in these two places, and another place is called Nako. It's a village, and the people from Nako invited Govinda there to sit with them for a month. And when Govinda got there, he said 60% of the people there are Lama. And I look in Google Earth, and like I check out the area. Holy shit! It's called Kinnack Valley. In this place, they have hotels, they have restaurants. They're like, and it's just beautiful wilderness. And I'm sure in the winter it's 9 feet of snow, but then in the summer it looks fantastic. There's a place called Nako Lake, and it's just beautiful. Like, oh my God, it really blew my mind. It's like, you read about in the 60s, Ram Das and Krishna Das, and they went to see a Ja Utal. Those people all went to meet Neem Karoli Baba, and it was like, oh, I'm reading about it, and I'm so admiring them, and it's like, wow, wait, look, I can go now. Kinnack Valley, go to North India, buy an air ticket, and there I am. I can also see an enlightened being. I mean, how exciting is that? It's like, it's just right there. It's no longer some kind of difficulty. Okay, so, right. We talked about this. We talked about all this. We talked about this. Oh, okay. Let's talk about this documentary. The documentary, the footage is amazing. It's a really good filmmaker. This guy, Ja Verhoeven, is so good. I'm so thankful for him because he really extended my eyes. And the documentary is told in a very, very solid reporter style. There's no real, there's not fanfare, there's no special effects. It's just a really good documentary because this is an amazing subject. The person is incredible, and the filmmaker just was so humble and just in the background, really showing what it is about this person. The documentary showed his house, where he sits, his kitchen, how he makes tea. The guru shows his raincoat. He said, well, it drops water. Like in his house, there's a leak, and he has to put a plastic over it. And he shows the plastic, and he said, and then I wear my raincoat. It's so endearing. This is so endearing. This is like a childlike, uneducated, childlike person, and is fully enlightened and even speaks English. So he shows his raincoat, and then he's sitting in his kitchen making tea, and he shows his spice jar. He said, before, I have no spice. I just put a little bit of salt, and I put a chili, and he shows the chili, and I just use a little bit of chili because I have nothing. And now, with the people, because he's going around and like, there's a lot of food in front of him now. Like, the days of not eating is kind of over. So he said, now I'm rich. I have so many spice in my jar. He said, I'm rich now. So cute. He really was happy. Like, oh, I'm so rich. And he said, not like you, but still, I feel very rich. He said, I'm rich. I have many spice in all the jars. All the jars are full. Well, not like you, but still, I feel very rich. And then he broke into a really childlike laugh. Like that. Oh, you gotta see it. It's just so endearing. Just in that smile, in that childlike laugh, in that smile, in that childlike laugh, it's a real, true human being who's enlightened. I mean, you can just see it in that contentment, that, well, I feel rich. He says, I feel rich just because I have the spice jar. It's filled. So you can see it in his face, the happiness, the freedom he feels, the fearlessness. I mean, if you conquer death, like, that's it, man. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. And the compassion he has for people and the joy he feels. It's all just right there when he says, I feel rich. Oh my God. That's it. It's not, to me, comprehending a person is enlightened. It's not really what he says, it's what he has done. You don't look at a teacher and learn from what he says. Look at the teacher from how he lived his life. And this guy definitely lived a life of amazing work. And you can just see when he says, I feel rich, from his face, from his childlike laugh, you can see the contentment, the satisfaction of him as a human being. He is enlightened. And why do I say he is enlightened? Because there's happiness on his face. There's freedom in his thought. He is fearless. He has conquered death. He didn't drink water or eat for months on end. He sat in a cave, covered under 9 feet of snow, no oxygen, and now he's sitting there saying, look, I got a lot of spice now. People are giving things to me, and I feel rich. That's fearlessness. And the compassion he has for the filmmaker, for the camera, for me who's watching it, just comes right through the lens. And it's like, whoa, there he is with this amazing compassion of sharing himself 100%, just like that. He's just giving it to you because he's compassionate. To me, he wants to share his journey and his joy, the joy in his face, in his eyes, in his childlike innocence. Oh God, this guy is incredible. So, he went all over. He went all over sharing himself with people. And this is, he's petting people's head. And this is Guru Govinda talks about people. He says, inside all same. See that way in all people. He just sees them. He sees them are all the same. Inside, they're all the same. How beautiful is that? To see all people, to see their inside and understand that they're all the same. Don't give trouble to others. That's his one thing that he taught. He really didn't. He just shares himself, basically. He's not a guy that big talk because he's like uneducated, very simple guy. He said, and the filmmaker asked him why he goes out. He said, oh, I don't know. I don't know about the people, why they need blessings, because he's going around blessing people, everybody like kissing him, wanting his blessing, wanting his holy sight. He said, I don't know about the people, why they need blessings. And he says, I feel from my inside compassion. Because of meditation, get compassion inside in our body. I want to share it with every people. Can feel when we meet, when I teach, when I touch others. And then he smiles and tears up. You can see this in the documentary, The Mountain Yogi by Jar Van Hoven. I'm sorry, I kind of lost my voice for a minute because he says, and it's so beautiful when he says it, I don't know about the people, why they need blessings. I feel from my inside compassion because of meditation. Get compassion inside our body. I want to share it with every people. Can feel when we meet, when I touch others. And he smiles and tears up. That's why he came out. That's why he came out of his cave to share himself. I mean, he's enlightened. He could just kind of like stay in the bliss, stay in the state of total happiness, contentment, and joy, and not do what he's doing. But he has come. He has come because when he touch people, when he meet people, he feels compassion, and he can't even explain it. But he feels it so much that he tears up. The teacher says, Govinda says, it is possible to be Milarepa, meaning it's possible to be enlightened. Every people, it is possible. If you work hard, everything is possible. My main way is to control mind, to become enlightened. This state of mind, not only for me, possible for everyone. So I want to talk about the teacher-student relationship because he is, in the past, is guru direct transmission. You know, like Tiropa to Naropa to Milarepa, and then Babaji to blah, 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 all the way to Suyuk Teshwa to Yogananda. It's like one after another. It's guru student direct transmission. But then right now, it is no longer like that. Govinda says that you know, all the spiritual lineage are actually broken. The spiritual lineage, since the teacher died, the lineage, I think, to me, unless you learn directly from a direct teacher that is in the old tradition of direct learning, I feel right now is no longer direct learning. And I got this from my teacher, Nisargadatta. Nisargadatta says, you now learn from your inner guru. And Govinda is actually saying the same thing, right? He's saying it is possible to be enlightened. Every people is possible. If you work hard, everything is possible. My main way is to control the mind to become enlightened. This state of mind, not only for me, possible for everyone. He has come down the mountain to show you, to demonstrate this. extremely important message that you just need the inner guru. You are fully guided by your spirit guides, by angels, by ascended ancestors. We have that. These are all our ancestors, right? The Milarepa, all these guys are human. These are human beings who are enlightened, and they are here to teach us right now about enlightenment. And they are all here in our mind, in the inside our head. They are non-physical, and they're talking to us right now. So the ascended ancestors are talking to us as our inner guru. You no longer need an outer guru. You can have a guru, of course. Teachers are great, but an outer guru is only a guide. Only your inner guru is going to lead you straight to enlightenment, and I will explain in a moment what that means, what Govinda says about that. And also many teachers, including my teacher Nisargadatta is a non-physical being right now. He died in the 80s, and I hear him. He's my teacher. That's why I said the inner guru. It's in your mind. You can hear this right now. You have your spirit guides, you have your angels, you have your ascended ancestors talking to you. We are also helped by extraterrestrials, enlightened race of beings that are here to help us. We are also helped by herbs, psychoactive herbs of every kind, cannabis, ayahuasca, peyote. They are helping us, opening our mind, showing the way. But ultimately, you still have to do your own work. That's what Govinda says. You have to do your own work. Okay, I cover all this. So now let me tell you what Govinda said. He said, how Guruji, Guru means teacher, Ji means honorable teacher. Govinda, that's his name, became enlightened. I want to say enlightened, but ran out of pages right there. Besides sitting in a cave, 3 years in Maling, 6 months without food nor H2O, and 4 years in Somak, 4 to 5 months without food nor H2O, through winters covered by 9 feet of snow and very little oxygen in deep meditation. Okay, besides this, how he became enlightened, he said, I read Milarepa's 1,000 Poems. It's a book. It's a book available on Amazon right now. I just bought it. I've never read it, and I'm going to read it. And this sounds like a very good idea. I'm going to read it. Govinda said, I learned how to work hard, how to understand the mind. Okay, that's meditation, mind control. I have faith, tattva. It's called tattva. He has faith. You have to have faith. Also, I was with, and then in the movie, he mumbled. I rewind and go for, I try to go back and hear. He said, I was with that thing. He said, I was with that thing, the mother of this way. What does that mean? I read Milarepa's 1,000 Poems. I learned how to work hard, how to understand the mind. I have faith. Also, I was with that thing, the mother of this way. I think that thing is God or the unknown or that state of void in your mind. I mean, if you sit without distraction for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years without even getting up to eat or pee or drink water, you're in a pretty deep trance, and you are with that thing which cannot be known, which cannot be talked about, which is some people call God and some people call void. But whatever it is, Govinda calls it that thing. The mother of this way. His way. And what is his way? Ta-da! He chanted Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Ni Padme Hum. Om Ni Padme Hum. That's a song called Chen Renzi. One of my favorite songs. I listen to it like on repeat the entire day sometimes. And I actually don't chant. His way, it's called mantrayana. Feel inside deep meditation. It's like, so this morning I actually meditate. Oh yeah, he says, Guruji Govinda said, 1 hour daily, come back after 1 month. He said, do this for 1 hour daily, then come to see me. So I'm going to do that. Do that 1 hour chanting in meditation, 1 hour daily, and then you can go see him after 1 month, and he will have further instructions for you. So I'm saying that this way is called mantrayana, in which you chant. There's many ways to get into a deep meditation. Chanting Om Mani Padme Hum is a good way, but you might have your own way. You might chant some other things. Transcendental meditation, they give you a word to chant. Can't think. Nami Horingyo is a Korean chanting method. There is the Krishna, the Kirtans as a chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. That's a chant. Chanting empty, 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 empty is a chant. What happens for me is I dive into the nothingness and slipped into kind of meditation. I don't know. It cannot be spoken of. The way that can be spoken of is not the true way, by Lao Tzu. So anyway, meditation, deep, deep, deep meditation is the way to go. And it is possible to be enlightened. Every people, it is possible. If you work hard, everything is possible. The main way is to control mind. You know how the mind is creating all this trouble right now? How about control the mind to become enlightened? This state of mind, a state of mind of happiness, freedom, fearlessness, compassion, joy, human enlightenment, contentment, is not only for me, it's possible for everyone. That's you, and that's me, and it's possible. Okay. That's it for today. And these pieces of calligraphy that I made, all the pieces that you've seen, I want to give it to you. If you send me a message in the comment here, give me your email or whatever way I can contact you, I will send it to you. This is for you as a gift. Very nice calligraphy. And I even put my stamp. You see, that's my Chinese name. I do calligraphy. I'm Chinese. Of course, I do it in Chinese as well, but this is in English. And this is my stamp. It says Cui Dai Hing. That's my Chinese name, and that's my stamp. Every artist has a stamp in old China. Isn't this beautiful? Obstacles are always there when you practice. Always obstacles, so that we have to face. Obstacles are helping us. They are our teachers. And that's my stamp right there. Guruji Govinda of Pools teaches us this. All these pages are yours. Tell me which one you want. Tell me your first choice, second choice, third choice, like that. And I will send it to you free of charge. I'll just send it to you. I'll just share it with you. Also, every Sunday for 13 consecutive Sundays from October 8th to December 31st, every Sunday 2 to 5 p.m. you can come to my house, to my garden. I have a permaculture garden in Los Angeles, and we can have meditation and discussion and have fun. It's a tea party. So if you want to come, you can look up Funkmeyer Gardens. We can meet. And so that's all for now. Here's another broadcast from the Parallel University. Bye.